Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about print on demand everything. So if you are interested in print on demand, please hit like and subscribe and stick around. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create this design right here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this style as it is a very kind of trending style going on right now. I am showing you on both a light and a dark color shirt to let you know how this design would look on both colors. This is exactly the same design, just put one on a light background and one on a dark background so you guys could see. If you're interested in learning about this style and this niche, go ahead and stick around. So here we are on Canva's home page, and we will be designing for a t-shirt today. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the top right hand corner where it says custom size, and I'm going to go ahead and select 4500 by 5400 pixels, and this will pull up a blank page. Now I do prefer to design for black. It is the top selling color. Just for reference, if you want to know, the top 4 selling colors is actually going to be black, dark heather, like dark heather gray, navy, and then, believe it or not, white would be after that. So mostly the dark colors, and then white is the top selling color if you're doing a light shirt. Unless you're doing a design specifically for something like Halloween and you want an orange shirt, or St. Patrick's Day and you want a green shirt, most of the time it's going to be in your best interest to design for the darker colors. Also, if you're selling on platforms like Amazon Merch on Demand, once you get into products other than just t-shirts, you're really limited in colors right now. If you were selling on something like a sweatshirt, for example, you really just have the black, the navy, the dark heather gray. Again, those are the top selling ones, and then they have a light heather for the light color, and those are your options for that. So again, just always try to optimize your design for darker colors when possible. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and select my background color here in the top left hand corner. I'm just going to go ahead and select black, and we'll be starting there. Now we are going to make a simple Christmas design today. It is going to just say Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas, and it's going to have a little lightning bolt in it. So you may be familiar with some of the lightning bolt designs out there. This is kind of a trending design style right now, and I've seen it on a lot of different designs, so you can use it all over the place. But in order to do that, we're going to start with a lightning bolt, and I want to kind of put a clipping mask on the lightning bolt to make it original. So with that in mind, I'm going to go over to the left hand side of the page, and I'm going to go to the tab where it says elements. Now I'm going to select here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put lightning bolt. And I'm going to go to graphics, and I'm looking for lightning bolts. I want it to be pretty solid like these. I'd prefer one that maybe has, instead of just like one curve, maybe 2 curves, so maybe more like that but solid. So like here is a good one that I could do, and that may be one I end up going with. I'm just making it white so that I can see it. So that is a good style lightning bolt right there. And again, you can see there are some that already have some designs in them, like here's a checkered one, here's one that they made that had like an animal print on it, and so you can kind of see the style that people are using now. So let's go ahead and create our own. So I'm just going to start by making the lightning bolt nice and big in the page. I'm just going to title this lightning bolt up here, and I'm going to go ahead and download this. It's going to have a transparent background. It is a PNG. The size is still set at 1. I'm just going to hit download. And now I'm going to select a clipping mask for it. So I'm thinking it's Christmassy. There's lots of different ways you could go with this. I want it to be simple, so nothing that's going to be too busy. You can see here things like checkered work well. So let's go ahead, and with that checkered idea, we're going to go with a buffalo plaid. Buffalo plaid is really popular around Christmas. So there are our buffalo plaids, and again, you'll see a lot of buffalo plaid designs around Christmas. So what you get is sort of just that checkered look in red and black. Now you can also do it with the green. So here is a buffalo plaid green that I like, and so there's lots of different styles, but you can see people are already using clipping masks of buffalo plaid on all sorts of things. As you scroll down, you'll get lots of ideas here. I do want this sort of green buffalo plaid, but I've seen one that I liked that had some snowflakes on it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to put green buffalo plaid. So I'm going to be specific, and it's going to pull up, again, more buffalo plaids, not all green, but I'm trying to find the one that has the snowflakes if I can. And if not, I can always add snowflakes to it, or you don't have to have snowflakes. Again, you can pick whichever one you want. I'm just looking for something pretty specific. Okay, so here it is. This is the green buffalo plaid that I saw that had some snowflakes on it. So this is kind of what I wanted to go with here, because I think that'll give just enough texture so that it's not too boring, but also not too busy. So I do want to see how it's going to line up with my my lightning bolt underneath. And so whenever you want to see underneath something, you can use a little transparency. So the little checkered box at the top of your screen that says transparency, if you were to slide that down, it's going to allow you to sort of see through and see where things line up. So with that in mind, you can line it up so that you have snowflakes kind of wherever you want them. I don't want them to just be dead centered, so I want to kind of give it a little bit of an off look. And I also want to make sure that this isn't too big. I want it to kind of lay on top like that. So I think that's going to look good. So at this point, I will lose the transparency entirely, and this is going to be my mask. So I can put lightning bolt mask and just go ahead and download this one as well. This does not need to be a transparent background because the clipping mask will only go over the lightning bolt. So I'm just going to download as is. Okay, once I've got it downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of my lightning bolt too. Sometimes I like to keep them in case I want to do multiple versions, but for this one, I know what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of everything. And I'm going to really quickly jump over to Photopea. If you haven't used Photopea before, it is free and it is easy. So you just put photopea.com into your browser and it will pull up a page that looks just like this. If you hit the center button here that says open from computers, it's going to pull up your downloads and you can just go ahead and select your lightning bolt download. And so here it is, it's pulling up a page with my lightning bolt. So now to put the clipping mask on, all I have to do is go to the top left-hand side of the page where it says File. About 3 spaces down, you'll see a tab that says Open and Place. Go ahead and click on that. It'll pull up your downloads again, and you can just select your mask. So your clipping mask there. And so now what I have is my mask on top. You can see the layers over here on the right. And so you've got your mask on top, the lightning bolt is on the bottom, and the mask is highlighted. And so as long as those things are all looking right, you can just go up to the top of the page, go to where it says layer. You'll click there. About halfway down, you'll see a tab that says clipping mask. You can click on that and it should automatically put your clipping mask right on top of your lightning bolt, just like that. Now all we have to do is export it. So I'll go to the top left-hand side of the page again, hit File. Halfway down here, it'll say Export As, and then I'm gonna go ahead and select a PNG. Now, if you give it a second, a little box is going to pop up that looks like this. You can retitle it however you want. So it says lightning bolt. I can put lightning bolt plaid. It's still a PNG, you know, the size and everything should still be the same. So all you have to do is hit save. And that is all you needed Photopea for. And it really should have been that quick and that easy and that free. So if you had any problems with that, drop it in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you, but it really should be that fast and you should be able to do this for free as many times as you like. So I'm going to jump right back over to my Canva page, and then from here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my lightning bolt that I just made. So to do this, I can go over to the left-hand side of the page where it says Uploads, and if I click that Upload tab, I can go ahead and go to Upload Files. It'll pull up your downloads again. You can select the lightning bolt you just made, and there it is. So then I can just go ahead and click on that, and it'll pull it right onto my page. So here is my lightning bolt. Pretty easy. Now I do want a nice white outline around my lightning bolt because I want it to stand out and pop. So easy, I can go up to Edit Photo. I'm going to go down to the effects where it says Shadows. And there's one that says Outline. I can just click Outline. Now at the bottom here where it says Color, I can go ahead and select any color I want. I'm going to go with white. And then I can also here select the size of the outline. So I can make it as wide as I want or as narrow as I want. So for this, I'm looking for something that has a thick enough outline that it looks deliberate, and I want it to be easily seen, but I don't want it to be so thick that it's, you know, kind of cartoony or looks like a sticker. So I do want it to be relatively thin, but again, deliberate. Something like that looks pretty good. And so I'm happy with my lightning bolt here. So now for this design style, what you would do is put a lightning bolt on top of repetitive words. And you could do this for any kind of design that you want, and it doesn't have to be Christmas or anything like that. But for this one, we're gonna go Merry, 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 and then we'll put Christmas at the bottom. So I'm gonna pull up some text. So I'm gonna hit T on my keyboard, and that'll pull up a text box. And I'm gonna do this in all caps, and I'm just gonna go ahead and write Merry, Merry, Merry. And right now you can't see it because it is black, so that's not a problem. We're gonna go up and change the text color up here, and we'll just go ahead and change it to white really quick. There we go. So now I can see it. It's all white. And I will be selecting some other colors too, but it's gonna go in the middle of the page, something like that. So now I want to go ahead and select a font. Again, you can do any font you want. This usually works better when you go with more of a bold font, something nice and thick. Groovy is very, in style right now. So if you can find a nice thick kind of groovy font, that works really well. I did have one that I found that I liked, and I think it's one that I did download from Creative Fabrica. And so that's always helpful if you find ones there, but you can use anything you want. But for this one, I went ahead and I used one called Magic Flower. So there it is. So this was sort of a groovy, thick font that looked good in all caps. So I liked the way that that looked. Now I do want these spaced closer together. So in order to do that, really easy, I can just click on my box, go up to the top where you see three little lines and an arrow. It says spacing. If I click there, it'll give you the option to change letter spacing and line spacing. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this line spacing way down so that these are nice and close together, something like that there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be making this nice and big across my page. And so this really is gonna fill up most of my page, something like that. And now I do want this to be sort of a red color in terms of just colors. I'm gonna change colors, making it sort of lighter to darker, I think. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start by picking a nice red color. And so I can pick red from here. I can go up and sort of change where it falls here. So let's say I wanted to start with more of a lighter color, maybe something there-ish. And then from here, I can just highlight an individual word, go back up to the color, and let's say I wanted to make this one just a little bit darker. And so I can do something like that. And then I can do it one more time, highlight the last line, and go ahead and make it maybe a little bit darker. So something like that. So I sort of get this little blend. It's subtle, it should be subtle, but it's enough that it's not all solid. Now, because I want this all to sort of look like it goes with the lightning bolt too, I'm gonna put a white outline around all of these words. So to do that, I'm gonna go up to Effects, and there is an effect called Outline. And I'm just gonna go ahead and select white for that. And now again, I can adjust the thickness. I don't want it to be too thick, but I also don't want it to be too thin. So I'm looking for something, again, that's deliberate without being overpowering. I like it to be about the same thickness as the lines on the lightning bolt. So something like that looks pretty good there. And so now what I can do to put it in the back is if I just click on this box, I can go ahead and hit Control in your left bracket, and that will send it backwards. And so now I've got my lightning bolt layer on the top. There's a lot of different ways that you can move layers around, but using the arrows using the keyboard is usually gonna be your kind of fastest and most efficient way to do it. So if there's a keyboard option, it's always a nice way to go ahead and work with. So here is my Merry, Merry, Merry with my lightning bolt. Now I do want to put Christmas down here. So I'm going to pull up one more text box. Oops, it's tiny. And I'm going to go ahead and write Christmas in it. Now I do want a different font for this one. For this one, I'm thinking maybe something a little bit scripty. And so again, you can go up, you can pick anything that you want. It doesn't have to be scripty, but I thought that looked good. And I decided to go with one called Banthal. Now again, this is one that I did get from Creative Fabrica. It looked really nice, sort of a Christmassy font there. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of an angle so that it doesn't look like it's just, straight across. So I'm thinking something like that looks pretty cool. So I'm liking the way that this looks right here. So I could do it like this. But I'm thinking maybe just to pull the green in, I might go ahead and make the Christmas this green color and put a white outline around this too, just so that it all looks like it goes that way. And of course, these are all just, design ideas, and you can, do whatever you want. So if I go ahead and decide I'm going to make that green color from the lightning bolt, I can do that, and then I can go ahead and go back up to effects, and I can do the outline again. And one more time, I'm going to make the outline white. I'm going to make it, relatively thin, but thick enough that it looks like it goes. And so right there, that looks pretty cool. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Now, the cool thing about this is, yes, it will stand out on a dark shirt, which is awesome. But if you also wanted to put it on a white shirt, and I was to change this background color here so you could see, the white outlines would just blend into the shirt and you would still be able to read the design. So this one here is very versatile. So I can do it on a white shirt, I can do it on a dark shirt. So it really does work out well in terms of both the light and the dark selling shirts. So I'm going to go ahead and change the background color back to black so you can see. So now this is all how I like it. Now I may want to move it a little bit higher in the page because I think it's sitting a little bit low right now. Maybe I want this lightning bolt to be a tiny bit smaller so that I have a little bit of space at the top and the bottom of the words. So something like that looks good. Maybe I want to bring this up so that it overlaps a little bit because I think that might look kind of cool. Maybe even angle it a little bit more so that it overlaps a little bit more like that. These are all just sort of design choices that I've made. So I think that looks pretty cool. So now I'm just going to go ahead and group the whole thing together, and then I can position it in the page the way I want. So if I was to move to like the corner of the page, very corner, and go ahead and just left click and hold down, I can highlight over everything. That will group it all together. Now I can hit group down here and it'll group it all together until I ungroup it, or I can just leave it here, move it, and then as soon as I click anywhere out, it'll ungroup. And so grouping is just an easy way to move things around or to resize them so that it is where you want it in the page. Now, if I click out, it's all still individual elements that I can move. And so that's the design. Really quick, really easy, and there's a ton of different applications for this. So you can just imagine putting anything you want inside that lightning bolt, changing these words to anything that you want, changing the color, changing the font, and you could do, hundreds of designs with this style. And of course, this is a very popular style right now, so it's definitely worth utilizing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and title this whole design just kind of Merry Christmas, and I'll put lightning bolt so I know. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and download it. So I'm gonna go to share, download. This one I do want to have a transparent background. It's still a PNG, still 4500 by 5400 pixels. The only time I change this is if I'm printing on something large, like if I was gonna go ahead and make this into a blanket or a flag or something, then all I would have to do is move this size up a little bit. And so you can see as I move it up, like let's say 1.5, now the equivalent would be over 6,000 pixels by over 8,000 pixels. And so that's how I would go ahead and print if I was doing it on a large, something large like a poster or whatnot. But if I'm doing a t-shirt, size 1 is perfectly fine. I leave it alone and I hit download, and it is ready to go as is on a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, anything you like. I've had people ask if I do anything to adjust the size afterwards. The answer is no. Exactly as you see it is exactly how I put it up. So I will tend to just put this design right up on Amazon, on my Etsy shop, on Amazon through Seller Central, on Redbubble, on whatever platforms you sell on, and it's pretty much ready to go. If you have any questions about this, drop it in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. I hope your Q4 is doing well. Obviously, we are, midway through October now, so you should already be looking into niches for December, maybe even January. Right now, just try to get all of your Christmas stuff up. And eventually we're going to start talking about more New Year's and into January. So if you have any design requests or video requests, you can put that in the comments section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can and add you guys to the list. It is a kind of long list, so I might not get to you right away, but I will put your stuff down on the list. So anyways, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope to see you guys again. That's it for today's video. If you found this useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.